Let me see what are the servers we have. We use this is a server you use, right? So I gave this information. Description can be anything, but the application server name is product, and instance number I'm using is 03, and system ID is PRT. So what I do is I right click here, add a new entry, and then I say next. Don't do anything because we are not doing anything here. So go to the next one. There's an option to set up the logon groups and all. See, logon group. We can set the logon group and select the application server name and all here. Like if you have multiple application servers, then user will be logging in through that. So user will think that, oh, this is the only instance I can log in through, right? But in our case, we use the custom application server. We don't use any groups. So we'll give any description. The application server should be right one, and IP address, instance number, system ID, and router string. If it is local, you don't have to do. Once you do that, you just say finish. Just say finish. Don't go to the next screen. Okay? We are not configuring anything there. We are configuring B and C other things we can go, right? So let me cancel it. So I clicked on that to log in, just double click on that. If I want, I can create some folders also here, right? So within the folders, I can create some other entries. So you can organize the servers in the way you want, okay? So I logged in, and it will give me an option to select the client. I told you client is a business entity. So if I am created in client 800, I cannot log into any other client if I am not created there. If I have a material code in 800, it doesn't mean the same material code will be there in client 300. Yes. Right? Because it's completely different business entity or a department, right? Yes. Right. So I have to log into client 000 in this example because I lost the password, right? Okay. So I log in as Don or Donatus, I think, right? The name is not case sensitive, but the password is case sensitive. I log in. I think I created an account for all of you.
Yes.
Did you all log in? Did you all try?
Yeah, I'm logged in right now.
No, from home did you try? Oh, tried already. Okay, good. What command did you try? You try something?
SAP login, I need to install, sir. I did from here only.
Yeah. So you log in as SAP GUI. I give the password. No, you can download SAP GUI.
SAP GUI.
Yeah. So when you log in, I have an easy access screen, and I told you that we can create favorites by many methods. Can you give me a method to create favorites?
Yeah.
So you have all those things. We'll go through that.
Yeah.
But we have a very easy access screen, easy to access. I can make entries by two ways. I can type the command here or T code here, or I can go through this menu. Whatever is easy for you, right? If I go through the menu, say, okay, I go here. For example, I want to do system administration, SAP system administration, go to the tools. If I'm not a programmer, if I'm a programmer, I go here. If I'm not a programmer, I go to administration. Then administration, there are a lot of things which I use regularly. Then I have monitoring to monitor my system monitoring, performance, different tools are there. As a basis administrator, I have to make sure the system is running smooth, right? For that reason, I have to do performance tuning many times, right? So sometimes the SAP server will be very slow. Maybe in a company you may have maybe 5,000 users. Usually not all 5,000 users will be using SAP at the same time. But suddenly some occasions maybe multiple people are using at the same time, many people are using at the same time, and then they are running very heavy duty applications also, very heavy duty processing is done. So your server can become very slow, and dialog word processor sometimes can go into privileged mode, right? So a lot of things can happen. So performance tuning is a very important thing in an SAP environment.
So how can we find out the T code of these things? Is it
Yeah.
SM35 is a T code or what?
Yeah, SM30 is a T code. Now if I go to extras and if I go to settings here, and if I say don't display T codes, then it won't show anything. If I go to tools, I don't see anything. Do I see any T codes here? No. If I want to see T codes, it will fold back again. Settings, display transaction, it will fold back now. So you expand again. Now you go back again. Administration, now you see.
Yes.
Okay. Now problem is, I think I showed you that there are a lot of T codes, right? How many T codes did you see in the system?
We learned about almost 1 to
Yeah, but how many T codes are there? If I want to see the T codes, right? Say, I can type SM01, right? If you want to lock a T code, or if you want to view the T code, SM01, I want to see the T codes which are starting with SM. Enter. So all these T codes are starting with SM. Okay? I want to see the T codes starting with the RZ. These are T codes starting with RZ. So I can find out. Right? Are you going to remember all these T codes? Do you have to remember?
No.
Why you don't have to remember?
Because
Because I can do SM02 and check.
Yeah.
Okay, even if I don't know, I can create favorites and put the T codes which I normally use. Right?
we can use from here.
Yeah, I can use it. So I don't have to remember anything, but some T codes is better for you to remember because those T codes you use on a regular basis. Right?
SM51 most of SM50.
Yeah, SM50 is very important T code, right? For you as the system admin, right?
all word processors.
Yeah, and also I have another option to see the T codes and also count the T codes. I can type SC16,
Yes.
SC16 to open a table. Or I can type SC16 new. Or I can type SC17, does similar function. Okay, SC17, SC16N, SC16, give a similar function. So I will type SC16. Even though we have a lot of T codes, many T codes do same thing. Small differences sometimes. And some T codes have different versions, new, the old one, like that. Right? So I want to open a table called TSTC. This table has all the T codes. If I want to count the number of T codes, how will I count? I will first go to the table of contents and then number of entries. So you will see that we have more than 103,000, 105,000 T codes we have. So you have no way to remember all of them. And these are not only SAP basis T codes, these are T codes for functional people also. Financial people, financials, T codes, and then MM, SD, HR, all the T codes.
It show all the T codes, TSTC.
TSTC is a table which has all the T codes.
So this table is same for everybody or what?
This table is available cross system, cross client. Right, all the clients will have access to this table. So I can, whenever I want to create a new code, I type a command called SC93. We will just introduce later, right? With that I can create a new T code, right? So these are the T codes by default the system has. But in a company I may create my own T codes based on my functionalities, right? So I type here, and I want to display everything. So, but here it will display only 200. If I want to display all of them, I'll put a large amount. It should be more than 105,000. It's too large, I think, right? This may be enough. So if I display, I will see all the T codes. Some of the T codes here you may not understand because it's quite long. So every T code, it will take some time because I'm asking you to display all, right? And also like every T code when I initiate, when I run, it will run a program behind that. For example, if I type SM50, the program which is running behind that won't be SM50. It will be something else, right? Yeah. So these T codes are available. If I want to search for one particular T code, this is the program name. Okay, this is the T code, this is the program name. So if I go and search for one here, I highlight this, I will search. I will see whether I can see something like SM50 here. I have many options, so I will highlight this. SM50 is here. Position the cursor there. So what is the program running behind that? RS 1000 ALB. Okay. And if I run this program, there's another command to run the programs also. So if I run this program, it's like equivalent to running this T code, which is easier for you as a user. SM50 or this one?
SM50.
That's why we are giving T codes for you. But T codes are actually programs running in the background. Everything has a default screen and all. DinPro is the screen name and all, right? Yeah. And also it explains here, what does it do? Work process overview. List of SAP systems. SM51 shows all the instances. Virtual machines overview. So you can learn a lot of T codes on your own. What about SM66? What does it do?
System-wide work process overview.
For example, I have in my SAP system, I have 3 instances. So I say if I type SM66, it will show the work process in all 3 instances in one shot, rather than me taking only for one instance. So SM66, SM50, same command, same output, related output, but SM66 gives for the whole SAP system with multiple instances. Okay. And also I have a lot of options here. I can highlight this and sort this in different order, ascending order. I can sort this in descending order. It takes time, okay? And I can find one item. If I want documentation, I have documentation here, online manual, if it is installed. And I can refresh, right? If I want to highlight, if I highlight one and click on this, it will display. Another shortcut for display is F7. If I go back to the earlier screen, shortcut for execute is F8. Shortcut for selection, multiple selection. You have multiple selection here, you know that, right? We can use F2, right? If you click on this, then I can select, I want to see only SM50. So I will say SM50 and also SM51. These are the 2 T codes I want to see, that's all. I don't want to see anything else. Then click on this. It doesn't show anything here, but it gives a small mark here. I mean, gives a small indication there, saying that multiple selection is done. I click on this, right? Then I saw both of them. I saw only both of them. In case I want to see from SM50 to SM57, and I went here and deleted whatever entry I made. So it shows from SM50 to SM57. 56, there is no SM57, that's right, okay? Okay, I don't want to see anything. Something, I don't want to see things like this, exclude, I don't want to see SM04. I don't want to see AL08. So those things I can put it in exclude single values. But so when I display now, it will show all of them, but it won't show these 2. I can also give a range, exclude intervals. Don't show any S. I can do that. Or from S to T, don't show. Right? So this will show everything, but only those things. So I don't want to save it. So I found out that there are a lot of T codes, many T codes, and it's impossible for you to remember, right? And at the same time, if I want to add new T codes, I can use a command called SC93. SC93, useful for me to add more T codes. Enter, and then I can type a transaction T code, and I can change it. I can create a new one. I don't like to modify. I don't want to modify any SAP objects. You are not supposed to modify any SAP objects. If you want to modify, copy it and then modify. Copy it under different name, right? And then modify. Okay. For roles and all, or any other functional modules, when they are creating new objects, they always start with Z or Y. Then when SAP sees, they know that it's not theirs, it's ours, right? Easy for troubleshooting, right?
Z and
Pardon?
which one they using? Z
Either they will start with, if they are using any, creating any new objects,
This one is
they
Z.
start with Z or start with Y. So if I want to display one of them, say for example SM01, I want to display. What is SM01? What is the program running behind that? I say display. And also when you want to change an SAP thing, you have to have some access number and all, right? Access code and all, right? So it explains what it does and what is the program behind that, right? What is the screen it is using. All these are developed by the ABAP program. When they develop ABAP programs, they put all this information and the authorization object. Okay. So I told that there are multiple lot of T codes. I don't want to remember, but some T codes I want to save it somewhere. For that reason, you have something called favorites. So I have some favorites here. Let me delete it. Delete favorite. So I went to the favorite. I want to create a folder. I can organize my favorites in a nice way. Insert folder, then I'll give a name. So this folder is user related. User. I'm a basis admin, so I'm not going to create users. So I will create the first one called performance related. Insert a folder. I'm not going to insert a folder. Let me insert a performance related. Under that also, if you want, I can insert a folder, right? I'm inserting a transaction. So I'm saying, give me a performance related T code. I told you that you always will forget that, all the administrators forget that, it's the list of processes, right? That's very important. First step is list the processes which are running when you have issues. So this will show me all the work process I am running.